Hello class 7, let's continue the chapter The Mughal Empire. Before explaining this chapter, I want to clear one thing. One question was there in the chapter. Akbar was not only a great empire builder but also a great administrator. Justify. Answer. You have to do answer from this page. Page number 70. Page number 70. See. From Akbar's administration, all these parts are from Akbar's administration. All powers of the empire were centralized and headed by the king. Akbar introduced the Mansabdari system. The literal meaning of word Mansab is office or rank of dignity. The Mughal Mansabdars were the highest paid officers. And apart from this, no need to write, you just have to write. Akbar maintained a regular standing army of his own, which was directly under his control. It was a highly trusted army directly recruited by him. This line you will add. Then after the emperor ruled with the help of officials headed by the emperor himself. The Wazir and the Mir Bakshi were the two most important officials. Okay, this you will write. All these points you will write while doing this answer. Today we will be doing about architecture. Akbar built a new capital city at Fatehpur Sikri. Fatehpur Sikri near Agra. Fatehpur Sikri is in near Agra. He selected this site for making his capital. He selected this site. Why? Because as Sufi saint Salim Chishti lived there. In that area, in Fatehpur Sikri only, Salim Chishti lived there, and Akbar had high respect for him. High respect for Saint Salim Chishti. That's why he built his capital in he built a new capital city at Fatehpur Sikri. Main architectural features of Fatehpur Sikri are: in the construction of the city, he deliberately blended Muslim and Hindu elements. In many buildings, Islamic types of arches appear alongside Hindu pillars. The material used is red sandstone with insertion of white marble. Most of the buildings have mixture of two styles of architecture, that is the Indian and the Persian. See, the architecture of Akbar's reign was influenced by Indian, Persian and Central Asian styles. His buildings at Agra and Fatehpur Sikri are made from red sandstone. Red sandstones were used. This. Look here. To build this building, Diwane Khas, Diwane Aam, red sandstones are used. To build Humayun's tomb, here also red sandstones are used. While to build Salim Chishti's mausoleum, white sandstones are used. Okay. The buildings which are located at Fatehpur Sikri are the Diwane Khas and the Diwane Aam. Diwane Aam. Why this building was called as Diwane Aam? Because Akbar would meet his people in Diwane Aam of his palace where he would listen to their petitions, their appeals. Panch Mahal, Jodhabai's palace, the Jama Masjid, Buland Darwaza, the tomb of Sheikh Salim. All these buildings were built at Fatehpur Sikri. The Buland Darwaza was added to commemorate Akbar's victory over Gujarat. This is the question or answer also. What was the significance of Buland Darwaza? Okay. It is the highest gateway of India and one of the biggest in the world. Highest gateway of India and one of the biggest in the world. Biggest building, biggest gateways of the world. The mausoleum over the tomb of Salim Chishti is made of marble and has beautiful pearl, ebony, inlay work on it. People from all over the world visit the tomb, which has a lot of marble lattice. The meaning of lattice is, here you can see lattice. This we call lattice. Lattice, an interlaced work of wood or metal made by intercrossing bars. Intercrossing bars, you see. All these are called lattice. Okay. This is what? This is Humayun's tomb. Humayun's tomb, and which has been built at New Delhi. Whenever you go Delhi, you must see Humayun's tomb. Now two features of Humayun's tomb. The tomb was built on a raised platform. You can see over there. The tomb was built in a raised platform. Raised platform. Then only you can see tomb. Okay. The tomb was built on a raised platform and has many domes and arches. See the difference between domes and arches. This is called arch. This is called arch. Okay, this is called arch. Okay, while this is called dome. Dome. This is called dome. Arches, arches, dome. 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 Here in this Salim Chishti's mausoleum, see, dome, arches. Okay. And second feature, it has been enclosed in a garden and has a big gateway. Enclosed in a garden and has a big gateway. The well-laid garden and the massive gateway seem to be common in most Mughal tombs. In most of the Mughals' tomb is common having garden and massive gateway. The plan of Akbar's tomb at Sikandra was finalized by Akbar himself. The tomb was finalized by Akbar himself. The tomb has no dome. You can see the building was ready. The building was ready before the death of, the tomb was ready before the death of Akbar because he designed himself. You can see over here tomb. The tomb has no dome like this. Like this. It has not any dome. As you can see over here. There is a dome, but there is no dome in Akbar's tomb. There is no dome in Akbar's tomb. Akbar was a great emperor. In 1575 AD, Akbar built Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri, his new capital. This was the place where the emperor invited religious scholars and teachers for discussion on religious subjects. Hindu, Jain, Parsi, and even Christian scholars were invited there. Akbar felt that all religions pointed towards one God. He wondered why it was not possible for people following different religions to live in peace with each other. After all the discussion, Akbar found the way out. He found the way out. He suggested a new religious path, and it was based on the common truths and rules taken from all the religions. He felt that all religions point out in one God, so why should we not make one religion? Akbar's religious path was named in 1582 AD as Dine Ilahi, the religion of one God. That's why in the name of his religion only, he kept Prayagraj as Allahabad, Dine Ilahi, Allahabad. But now again Prayag, and the name of Allahabad has been changed and it is called Prayagraj. Okay. Here Akbar was a secular emperor. He used to respect all the religions. He was tolerant. Akbar was an enlightened emperor. He held liberal views on religions. He believed in the basic unity of all the religions and respected all the religions. He married Rajput princes and allowed them to practice their own religion. It means he married not only one, but he had another wives also, Rajput princes, who were Rajput princes, and allowed them to practice their own religion and customs at his palace. Akbar built Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri, his new capital. This was the place where the emperor invited religious scholars and teachers for discussion on religious subjects. This paragraph can help you to do answer number 5. Akbar was a secular emperor. Justify. While doing this answer, you can take help from this paragraph. Akbar did not force the people to join or accept Dine Ilahi. He did not force his subjects to follow this religion. Even his own minister Raja Man Singh refused to join it, and he disapproved of it openly. Raja Birbal, however, sincerely followed it. But Birbal, he was another gem of Akbar. He followed it. Under Dine Ilahi, Akbar became the spiritual guide of his people. He discouraged the killing of animals and advised that people should stop eating meat at least for a few days in a year, especially during the month of their birth. He himself gave up eating meat. Akbar disapproved of cruel punishments such as mutilation of limbs of the criminals. Now the question is, when did Akbar die? Akbar died in 1605 AD. Akbar died in 1605 AD, after ruling India for 50 years. His reign was a glorious period of the history of medieval India. You can see Empire of Akbar. Okay. Here one word is there in the chapter Kutubas. Kutubas, the address delivered in the mosque at weekly and annual rituals. While doing prayer, the followers of Islam, they do this. This is called, they take the name of the ruler, like the while reading namaz. Before that, they take the name of the ruler, which is called Kutubas, whose tomb is in Sasaram. Said Shah Suri's tomb is in Sasaram. Now this is Diwane Khas. The significance of Diwane Khas was the emperor used to hold meetings with his senior officer in the Diwane Khas. Here only he used to take meeting with his officials, okay, who Akbar in Diwane Khas. Now students, you have to do all these exercises, exercise C, D, E and F in book, okay, in book, and this also you have to do in book only, and do answers. You will get your answers easily in history and geography because they are given in book only. If you read the chapter carefully, you will find your answers, okay. Take care of yourself and your families too. Help your parents in doing household chores. This is your responsibility also, okay. And do your homework regularly. Send them on time. Thank you.